Oh, shoot. I need my charger.
Oh, yes, get that so that we don't die.
When these dads meet world, watching Boy Meets World. We grew up on the show, now we have kids and host a podcast. We watch each episode and then share our thoughts and grades. When these dads meet world.
They want you to take the rolls. And a ho Merry Christmas, good-looking people. We're back at it once again. It is the season, in June.
'Tis the season indeed. In June.
Yes.
I am looking for a very special button, so we will find it eventually here.
I don't doubt that whatsoever. Welcome back. This is Dad's Meet World, your weekly deep dive into the 90s classic. Oh, thank you.
There it is.
90s classic known as Boy Meets World. I am one of your two dads on this journey, and joining me as always,
Dad number 2, Brett, fresh from lots of work.
yes, we just spent about 5 minutes of on-air time talking about stuff that we're all going to get cut out. So, Brett, outside of all that we just talked about, which thank you, by the way, how else are you, Brett? Are you feeling the spirit?
I am feeling the spirit. Yeah, I just watched the episode this afternoon, and I have to say, I am feeling the spirit. I kind of wish the lights on my hat still lit up, but sadly they don't. They died a long time ago.
That's disappointing.
But I am feeling the spirit. What about you, Tyler? Are you feeling the spirit?
I am. I felt there's a big... I never realized it, Brett, but there really is such a big, giant Grinch of a turd, in this episode. Otherwise, it would be a really good, classic, Christmassy episode.
Yeah, if I could take the B plot from this and combine it with part of either season 1 or season 5's, we could make a perfect Christmas episode.
It's really true. But we can't have nice things, Brett.
No, we can't. But we can talk about them.
We can talk about them. Brett, I don't know if you know this, but we're officially in Hawaiian shirt season, and that's why I got Batman and the Joker hanging out on my shirt. I gotta say,
that's right,
I like
we
it.
Are.
I asked my wife, I need a shirt for our vacation, and this is what she supplied me with. So, good on you, my love. Yep. Speaking of Brett, should we get into that synopsis?
We should get into that synopsis. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 611, here on episode 150 of Dad's Meet World.
Woo!
Yes. 150 episodes strong. And only because I have to play something to stop the cheering.
So anticlimactic.
You know what I should have played?
Big Daddy rocks. Eric. Big Daddy rocks. Big Daddy rocks.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, but here we are, episode 611. We are exactly halfway through season 6, Santa's Little Helpers. Not to be confused with season 1's Santa's Little Helper, singular.
Yeah, I have no idea why a showrunner would have the distinction of a comma in there. Gosh.
Oh, yeah. Cory and Topanga figure out that Shawn and Angela still love each other, but they have contradictory opinions on what to do about it. Meanwhile, Eric takes his store Santa Claus job a little too seriously when he convinces Rachel and Jack to help him steal his family's gifts in order to make underprivileged children happy. This episode was written by Patricia Carr and Laura Reynolds, directed by Lynn McCracken, originally aired December 11th, 1998, and currently enjoys an IMDb rating of 7.8. That is 0.7 higher than our last episode and is currently tied for 7th place on the season, tied with The Truth About Honesty. So, Tyler, last week, our last episode was 9.25 million viewers for Eric's attempt at the Truman Show. How do you think
Yeah.
our Christmas episode for season 6 did?
I mean, here's the thing. Last episode was definitely a flop in the scheme of it all, though we did enjoy it. But there's no way for a Christmas episode, Brett, that they can't get less than, like, I don't know, 11.
All right. We did go back up to 11 and we almost hit 12. It was 11.9 million.
Nice.
It was technically 11.90, but we'll just let that be 11.9. So there we are. That is our synopsis, and there is the table all set for us.
Yes, indeed.
Te fideles.
Yeah, I liked how Feeny, you start off of him kind of almost mumbling a song, and you're like, I mean, I feel like you're close, Feeny, but it's almost like they don't want him to get too close to the song he's clearly singing for copyright reasons.
Yeah, almost. I mean, I'm sure it's in the public domain with as old as it is. It has to be, but yeah, I mean, you don't want him to belt it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved how he is like, as principal, I got to decorate the school. And immediately the janitor, who we've never seen before, comes over and throws it away.
Yes, this janitor, which we haven't seen on the show before because this is his first time,
Mhm.
but I have seen the actor many other places before. This is Patrick Crenshaw. 120 acting credits.
Wow.
He shows up in productions such as Mars Needs Women, The Odd Couple, Green Acres, Sanford and Son, Wonder Woman, Chips, The Dukes of Hazzard, Perfect Strangers, Growing Pains, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, The Drew Carey Show, ER, Monk, and probably one of my favorite roles of his, he's my boy Blue from Old School, and more. Sadly, he did pass away in 2005.
Yeah. Well, happy non-denominational holidays.
Yeah, and that wording has always bugged the crap out of me. Happy non-denominational holidays. Non-denominational, it applies exclusively within the Christian faith system.
Uh-huh.
What they really mean to say is non-religious.
Or,
And I don't understand why this is not a Boy Meets World specific thing. This happens a lot within sitcoms and other TV shows. They always default to non-denominational.
uh-huh.
They really just mean they need to say non-religious and
Uh-huh.
be correct about it. It always bugs me.
It's almost like they should have said, happy holidays, Brett.
Yes, or just go full bore and say Merry Christmas Kwanzaa.
Yeah, that also works.
But either way, Mr. Feeney's his holiday spirit is going to be trashed at every turn this season.
It is. But again, Brett, this is the fun of watching a Christmas only episode that is taking place when we don't know for sure. If you go based on the context clues, it's like Christmas Eve.
Yeah, well, I'd say at this point in the episode and here's the thing. I'm jumping just a little bit ahead.
Jump ahead,
Eric, I'm going to jump into Eric getting a job. It's revealed to us that Eric gets the job as the Santa, as the department store Santa. They've hired him right before Christmas Eve.
Uh-huh.
That's really late to be getting your Santa.
Oh, Brett, let's get more specific though. College semesters end at the beginning of December. I know plenty of people who never came back from Thanksgiving break because they didn't have to.
Very true. I mean, I'm thinking back to my own experience, and we were out last full week or first full week of December were our finals, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So where there's no way we're just decorating the student union and getting hired for Santa jobs the week of Christmas.
Yeah, no, I mean, you
But it is the
can.
heightened reality.
As a college student, you could be hired as a Santa Claus or that type of seasonal work in the midst of your finals and all that jazz. So, I mean, it's not that
Mhm.
unreasonable for him to have the job, but like it is unreasonable that it's like a week or two away from Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again,
You know,
we
it's
never.
really impressive.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, in all these Christmassy holiday episodes, it's all happening right now at this very moment. There is no time jump, although all signs point to there had to have been at least a time jump somewhere.
Yeah. But what I'm finding even more impressive is Eric's pay scale. He's getting
Yeah,
$12 an hour in 1998. That's more than minimum wage is now. I am
yeah.
impressed with that mall paying him that much for seasonal work.
Well, paying Santa that much, not an elf.
Oh yeah, Elf Boy gets $5 an hour.
Yeah. But speaking of which, Brett, we learned that apparently Jack was supposed to be going to the Bahamas, but something went wrong with his flight, so he's not going now.
Yep, he's stranded.
Which kind of okay. I'm just speculating here, Brett, but it kind of sounds like rich people talk for my parents didn't want to pay for me and I'm not paying for myself, so I'm throwing a hissy fit and not going.
Yeah, that sounds pretty much what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, like, if airlines actually mess up your tickets, I've only flown once, but I know, you know, service enough to know that they would take care of those costs or offer something to make up for it.
I last summer I flew out to San Diego for a weekend, and coming back I was supposed to be routed through Vegas back home to Cleveland. And my flight out to Vegas, because of weather, was delayed, and so I had to be deplaned
Mhm.
along with anyone else who was on that flight, and we were all going to miss our flight, and we had to be reissued and rebooked onto a new flight. That's just part of the process. So
Mhm.
if his tickets got messed up, his tickets would have been fixed. This is just Jack not wanting to part with money, because he says later on the money he would have spent he spends on toys for kids.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. Sometimes I also think that like Jack's relationship with his stepdad maybe isn't as good as he likes to say it is, or maybe his mom
Yeah, I can
is
see
not as
that.
stable as he makes it out to be. Like, we never meet his mom, so we don't
Oh no,
know,
no, we never do meet Jack's parents.
which is a shame.
It is. It would have been nice to meet them, even for a one-off cameo.
Hmm. Well, and that's just the difference, though, of television, like, say, today or even 10, 15 years ago compared to in the 90s, where they're like,
Today, today we would have gotten like a Zoom call with them every fourth or fifth episode, talking
yeah,
about how skinny he's getting.
oh, yeah. Hi, you're
I wonder if
fine.
Jack's still doing his modeling gig.
I wonder if Sean's still taking pictures, Brett. Yeah, so Eric reveals that he's going to play Santa Claus for $12 an hour, and apparently also signed up Rachel and Jack because you know how you can just get jobs for people, Brett.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, 1998. I'm sure it was a lot easier in suburban Philadelphia malls. You know.
Hmm. I don't know. But yeah, and then we have Shawn talking with Cory about how he doesn't want a third wheel with him and Topanga because, it was a problem in high school up until it wasn't.
Yeah, we've been in a third wheel so long. I think of us as a tricycle. What would you be without the third wheel?
Hmm. Yeah, so he invites him over. He says, "Great, that'd be wonderful." And then Topanga invites um, Angela as well. Did anyone think to ask the Matthewses, "Hey, can two extra people stay with us?"
Of course not. And you know what? And and here's the really funny thing. Like Shawn easily could have just visited with Jack and crashed on the couch
Yep,
at any point for all
yep.
of this. And it wouldn't have been a problem.
Honestly, they could have
But
had a
the episode's
storyline. They could have had a storyline, Brett,
episode's got an
where
episode.
Jack and Shawn go off and go do something. Like they say, "Hey, we're gonna take a little hunter road trip, just the two of us." Or maybe like Dad's
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. He said for us to come visit him, so we're gonna go visit him. Anything.
Yep. But we gotta try and force that
Cory
Shawn
could
and
have been
Angela reunion.
Elf Boy. Okay,
Oh,
Brett, let's just make the storyline better. It's in their dad's store. He is still Santa. Eric's still Santa. Cory is Elf Boy, and Rachel is hired to be the cute Mrs. Claus. Hey, what if she works at the store? Brett, we coming up with constantly good ideas for the show.
let's go back 30 years ago and just sell them all of our ideas.
We should have. We should have done that. I don't know why we didn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
Chet's missing again. Shawn could have crashed it at with Jack. They could have gone do something together. They supposedly they built some Hunter brother traditions back in season 5
they
of
won't
ice
talk to each other
skating.
this episode.
No, they will not.
It's
And
like the showrunners forgot that, hey, these two are brothers. They're meant to interact with each other.
yeah. And with as good a job as the showrunners have done this season of having Cory and Topanga rebuild communication skills, neither one thinks to talk to the other one about their plans of
Yep.
inviting Shawn and Angela to stay with them.
Yep. Well, problem though is that their best friend asked them to keep a secret from each other.
Yeah.
And they agreed to it.
Which they actually are.
They did. They actually did quite well. You know what, Brett? Let's just be honest for a moment. Cory has known since episode 3. And he has not said a word until now. Oh, he went a whole college semester without saying nothing.
He did.
That's a
and
big
he
deal.
kept his trap shut. That is a big deal for him.
Yeah. But this is one of those episodes people go, "Oh my gosh, Cory's so toxic, trying to control people." Oh, by the way, and Nick cut for all you that don't know, Cory makes a joke, says, "Hey honey, sex is off." It's like he was never on the
The
table.
sex. Yeah. That room's a nursery by now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't even get me started, Brett. Yes, but we have a classic moment.
Yeah, where are all of these people sleeping?
We have a classic moment, Brett, where both Cory and Topanga realize, you know something, I know something. So the two of them agree. At one, they're going to say what each other know. And
of course, Topanga's not going to. She's going to make Cory spill the beans.
Because Topanga's a liar and you can't trust her.
She's shifty, that Topanga.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but they revealed to each other that, yes, they both love each other. They both admitted to each other, and let's see what happens. And Topanga's trying to say to him, don't interfere. Don't interfere. And he goes, well, it's way too early to tell if I will or not.
Yay!
I don't want to be predictable.
I don't like to be predictable. I do like that fun little gag.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but we get to Eric being a questionable Santa.
Yeah, he does start out as a pretty bad Santa.
I wanted to have that pause in there, Brett, because I was to agree that at first Eric is not doing a good job until he starts getting an influx of less privileged children, which help.
Yeah, that first kid is pretty shifty as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the one that pinches Rachel's butt?
Yeah, you mean the one that sexually assaults Rachel?
Yeah, that's what I thought too, Brett, but I didn't want to say it. Yes, but they kind of have the spark of inspiration, Brett, where they decide, hey, these kids don't have nothing. Let's spend the money on things and let's get them stuff.
Yeah. Even though their manager doesn't want them to spend any time with these kids, just get them on their way. Manager, by the way, played by Dorian Wilson. I've seen this guy in a few things. He's always familiar to me. Only time we see him on Boy Meets World, 84 acting credits to his name, such as Friends, Seinfeld, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Living Single, Moesha, The Parkers, That's So Raven, Grey's Anatomy, and more. But yeah, I mean, no one initially looks good in this until the underprivileged kids start to come in, and then the Santa crew starts to have a change of heart. Yeah.
Well, and Eric makes it very clear. It's not just putting on the suit and getting the superpowers, Brett.
That's right.
It's making kids happy. I think in this moment, Eric, it feels something in him to like bring out this joy. It's like almost he's like running on a high of happy kids.
Mm-hmm.
And what Eric doesn't realize is eventually that high runs out.
Yeah, it's a callback for him back to Uncle Daddy when he was dating the girl who had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a reminder to him of what it's like to be that person bringing the joy to a young child. And even though we don't see it referred to on screen, it's an opportunity for him to kind of relive that thing that he misses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that at first they realize they've run out of things, so they go and they raid his parents' house.
After they've used his dad's credit card, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Which why does Eric have his dad's credit card?
One can only imagine.
And did you notice not one kid or their parents walk away with the pictures that Rachel is taking?
Yeah, she'd take a picture, then she would kind of hold it and show it off, and then that was it.
Yeah, no one's walking away with those pictures. So who's walking away with the pictures at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm blanking right now, but yeah, so we let's talk about Tommy, Brett. Because Tommy comes back and says, I didn't believe you were the real Santa, but since I walked away with what I asked for, I now know you're the real Santa, so I can ask you what I really want.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da. Family.
He wants parents. Yeah, he wants a family. Because these aren't just underprivileged kids, good looking people. These are kids from an orphanage.
Yeah. I know this is not the right time, but I was just thinking the whole time I was watching this episode, I was thinking about a Modern Family Christmas episode that I really love. It's the one where Phil has to hit a certain amount of steps in order to keep his Stairmaster, and Cameron takes his daughter to an underprivileged event, not realizing it's an event for underprivileged, not doing things for the underprivileged.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount of chaos in this episode is just spectacular. High recommend. But yeah, we get this weird moment, Brett, where they decide to turn the lights off and turn the tree on. That's a tradition, apparently.
Yes, on their non-aluminum tree,
Yes,
might I add?
non-aluminum tree.
After their 1 year,
Apparently,
after the 1 year tradition of an aluminum
they
tree,
committed to Topanga's trees.
with Mr. Feeney's tradition of the wise Santa ornament.
Apparently, Alan went to Vermont like he was asked, got a tree, got the maple syrup, and came back. Yeah, but also there's mistletoe on the staircase, and so Cory says, "You two go sit up there." They do, and nothing says "make out with me right now" than being at my best friend's house with a Christmas tree on.
That's right. In the dark, just the Christmas lights underneath the mistletoe. Now, I will say, there are two things in all of this that I will give Cory credit for. One, the setting can be romantic.
Can be.
Under the right circumstances. And two, he does say that when Cory and Topanga broke up, Shawn did everything in his power to get them back together.
He did.
And he's just trying to return the favor. Because he knows that they both are still in love with each other, and he wants to get them back together.
Well, and he feels like he owes Shawn that.
There is some credit. Exactly. There is some credit to be given there. He feels that he owes Shawn that to pay him back, to be the friend there, to do exactly what Shawn did for him. Now, his read on Shawn and Angela's relationship is remarkably thin.
Yes.
For where they're at, because he doesn't understand the complexities of where Shawn is at. Shawn has been really messed over by his parents and the way that they have handled issues of intimacy and love and being able to be open and accepting with each other. Shawn has not seen a lot of successful relationships. Cory and Topanga and Alan and Amy are probably the two most stable relationships he's seen, and he just witnessed Cory and Topanga go through all of their rockiness in the last year. So Shawn has a lot bubbling beneath the surface that he hasn't even told Cory about.
Right. Well, and
so
sorry, go ahead.
Cory's read is very, very thin.
Oh, I agree completely. Cory's in the mindset of last season, where Shawn said he wants what Cory and Topanga has, not understanding what that is. So Shawn now wants for Shawn and Angela to get back together so they can have what Cory and Topanga have, not realizing what that is. And the show has not shown us this, but we know that Angela also has trauma from her past. So for her to open up like this is very big for her, and this is a last chance. And I guess one of the things I want to kind of get through all of this, I guess, Brad, and that is to get to their inevitable conversation, because they had to go all the way back to campus for that.
Yeah, when of course they're just going to let anyone on to come in and hang out after they've been kicked off, clearly been kicked off campus because they're shutting the campus down.
Yeah, you know, Brett. Christmas Eve.
You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
Yeah, but
Blue's gonna let him in.
Angela makes clear that, hey, I have these feelings for you. I'm told you have these same feelings. So what is this?
Mm-hmm.
She's having, for lack of better wording, a come to Jesus moment with him. And Shawn's response is, uh, uh, uh.
Yeah.
I mean, Shawn has not had the chance to process the fact that Angela also has feelings for him. And I think if this was like the end of break, they could have worked through some of these things, had time together, but Cory kind of did rush them, and they rushed themselves as well. And so instead of them having a, yes, we do love each other, let's get back together, it's a, I don't know what I want. I'm opening myself up to you. What are you going to do? I don't know. Then I'm done. Which is sad.
Yeah.
And this is an
It
important
is.
moment for them and their development, and also revealing that they won't have what Cory and Topanga have, because nobody has what Cory and Topanga has.
No.
We love our wives, Brett, but we'll never have the relationship Cory and Topanga have. And I'm happy about that.
I'm very happy about that.
But just the same,
I would not want to trade what I have for what they have.
But I can't have a relationship like you and Kelly, because we're all very different, and you guys won't have a relationship like us. So it's one of those follies of comparing your relationship to somebody else's.
Exactly.
And Cory is very impatient about all that, and even saying all this should take like 10 minutes tops.
I love you. You love me. Let's get back
Let's thank
together.
Cory.
Let's go thank Cory and Topanga.
Yes. And it's a sad moment. I wish we wouldn't have had all this rigmarole. Let's see if they'll get back together. They're not getting back together, because then it just, instead of having a nice, fun, contained episode, it's smeared in the, well, we're still at college. We got to continue the college storyline. What's happening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
It would have been better if they could have told a self-contained story.
Yeah. Well, Brett, let's get to arguably the best scene in the whole episode.
Yes.
And do you have any of this clip, by the way?
I did not get anything clipped for
That's
this
okay.
week, no.
So let's talk about this, Brett, because this is, in all of Boy Meets World, this might be one of my favorite serious moments.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I'm right there with you.
It's Eric in the Santa suit still, just sitting in snow. And let's pretend for a moment it's real snow, Brett. You and I have lived through nice, wet, wintry weather. When you're sitting in snow for a while, it does just kind of build up on you, and eventually you look around and like, oh dang, I gotta get some of this off of me.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't have to take
no
long.
it doesn't, but he's probably been sitting outside for maybe like 15-20 minutes, maybe half hour, just sitting in misery. And for lack of better wording, he has a conversation with, whether it be God, a creator, or the universe. He's talking to someone. He doesn't name anybody in particular, but he says, why did you send me this kid?
Why did you send him to me, and why do I only come to you when I need you? Probably because I don't want you to have to take care of every problem.
It reminds me, Brett, of someone who feels like it's their responsibility to make everybody laugh, but when they don't have a joke to tell, they don't know how to make people happy. And so yeah, he's in this sad state, and like I says, no disrespect, but why? Why does that nice little boy not have any parents? Um, again, he says even louder, why did you send me this little kid? And he stands up and he says, I can do something. I'll take care of this. I can be responsible for the happiness of one little boy. Which is a very powerful statement from someone who, as of late, has been mostly about jokes and being the funny guy. So, Brett, let's go through it. Little change, big impact. Eric actually does take on the responsibility of this little boy, and his end storyline is this little boy becoming his son. Wouldn't that have been a nice way for his character to have true growth?
It would have. It would have really forced him to grow up in a lot of ways, and the writers really would have had to have been challenged with that. He would have had to find a different space to live. He would have had to have gotten a consistently well-paying job to be able to provide support. We would have seen him have to be more than just the goofball. We would have seen him have to be a disciplinarian. We would have seen him need to be a coach, father figure, friend, confidant. And Tommy, I mean, Tommy here is, what did we say? Maybe, what do we think? Maybe 6 years old? 7?
I always think around like 8.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, I always say 8 at the most. So, I mean, he's second grade, maybe third at most.
Yeah, like
that's a lot of years in school.
There's a lot of life left for him to live.
There is. By the way, Tommy, played by J.B. Gaynor, first of 3 times we'll see him on Boy Meets World. Only has 20 acting credits, but he showed up in shows like Frasier, Mad About You, Party of 5, Chicago Hope, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Titus, Touch by an Angel, and reprised his role of Tommy after taking a 10-year hiatus from acting in Girl Meets World.
Are you sure that was actually him?
That was actually him,
I didn't,
according to his IMDb.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah, that was actually him, according to IMDb. Right.
I don't doubt you. But yeah, I love this scene from Eric because it's in a moment where he's not surrounded by people, so there's no audience for him to make laugh, like in the immediate presence. It's just him alone in his thoughts and in his little bit of grief, I would say, and recognizing his privilege of having 2 loving parents who he never had to question, if he was going to have Christmas or not. So it's, I would say for Eric, it's probably one of the first times he's faced with, I'm trying to bring joy to kids that don't have much joy, but what can I do when it's beyond something I can actually make happen?
Yeah.
So,
and it's a monologue that even still here today, like I said, I watched it earlier today. It still gives me a catch in my throat when I'm watching it.
Yeah, it's a great moment. I wish we could see more of this, Eric. I really do.
Yeah, I do too.
I really feel like Will Friedle, when he's in these scenes, does a fantastic job, and I wish they could have given him more moments like this and show off just the type of acting he's capable of.
Oh yeah.
But we get to them to start opening presents, which is why I'm confused of when this is happening, Brett. They're apparently opening some gifts, and Feeny got a breast pump.
Oh,
apparently they threw random items into the boxes that they had from before, because apparently Amy only wraps gifts based on using reusable boxes, is what they're claiming.
Apparently.
Everybody only gets one gift from them.
And more importantly, perhaps a little more traumatizing, which kid got Amy's breast pump?
I don't know. Anywho, Jack reveals what happened and that they got into the Christmas season, and even Rachel says, you ever just get into the Christmas season, you just decide to steal stuff?
Yeah, everyone does that, right?
But then Eric comes in and he introduces them to Tommy. And the grandpa energy that Alan Matthews is giving out right now is so amazing and wonderful. And you gotta wonder why they couldn't just let him be a grandpa sooner. But he does ask him, "Do you have my drill bit?"
Yeah.
Amy's concerned what's going on, and he makes clear of, "Hey, this is Tommy. He doesn't have a family. I thought it'd be nice if he could come spend time with mine. And, we're gonna spend some time together, especially on the weekends. I'm gonna act like a big brother for him." And Cory says, and I quote, Brett, quote it, "He's a good one."
Yeah. Cory gives him some props.
And Morgan gives him a cookie because Morgan gets one line.
Oh, yes. We get one line out of Morgan. Man, we haven't had a good sarcastic Morgan since like episode 5.
I know, but I will say they turn up the Morgan intense amount of sass in the next season. So
yeah,
my favorite Morgan is season 7.
I
Morgan.
wouldn't.
Season 1, season 7.
They're killing us. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
but of course, we end with Mr. Feeny reading the beginning of A Christmas Carol, and we see awkwardly Angela and Shawn walking back in, not looking very Christmassy, spirity, makey outy anymore, which is quite sad, Brett.
Just as he's reading about Marley being deader than a doornail.
Yes. Well, love can be as dead as a doornail. Wouldn't you agree, Brett?
Yeah, a little bit of symbolism there, don't you think?
Yes, but Brett, this is an episode.
That is an episode, yes.
A lot faster than I thought it was going to be.
Tyler, do you have any... yeah. Do you have any deep dives for us?
Let's get into those.
People. Am I the only one who read the summer reading list?
Well, Brett, I guess let's start from the first couple seconds of the episode. Feeny was clearly humming a slight version of "Oh Come, Let Us Adore Him." If you believe it was something different, please let me know. But
well, he does sing a Deste Fidelis.
Yeah. So it's written by... Well, now I'm confused. Translator. All right, so the original author was John Francis Wade, but someone doing a translation of it was Frederick Olick. All this taking place in the 1700s and the 1800s. So old, before copyright. But as we know, Boy Meets World doesn't like to mess around with music.
Oh, of course.
All right. Brett, $12 an hour and $19.98 compared to today is the equivalent of $23.48.
Impressive, even more.
Exactly. Now, $5 for Jack. I mean, it's still an impressive $9.78, so that's not bad.
No.
I mean, in the powers of what you can buy back then as compared to now, it's pretty good. I will say he mentions you put on a suit and you get powers. That's clearly a reference to the Santa Claus from 1994. We have talked about this movie in depth in the show. If you want to know more about it, go to our Christmas episode. Excuse me, our Christmas bracket.
Oh, yes.
But movie stars Tim Allen and his son Eric Lloyd as they try to understand what is the true meaning of Christmas. And oh my gosh, he's Santa. It's one of the best ever episodes, movies about a child's faith and adults just needing to listen to kids. Oh.
One of my all-time favorite Christmas movies.
All right. So Brett,
watch it every year.
Question is when did Santa Claus start becoming a thing in malls and department stores?
That I have no clue, but I'd wager a guess it was probably, I don't know, around the 50s,
Ooh.
Maybe the 40s.
Very close. We're looking at the first original would be in the 20s and 30s. Sorry, that would be the 1820s and 1830s.
Oh, well, then I was way off.
Uh-huh.
I should have been thinking more along the lines of Miracle on 34th Street.
So, yeah, the start of it apparently was inspired based on a Christmas poem that a minister wrote to his daughter about a ancient visitor named Saint Nicholas, better known as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And then the Santa arrives in store. Apparently, there are several stores that claim to be the first, but the Philadelphia Confederation and dry goods store owner James Parkinson appears to have the first retailer to punch to the punch. Yeah, sorry. Apparently hired a man to play Kris Kringle in 1841. It's like, quote unquote, the first documented saying this is the first one for sure. So technically it's 1841 would be the claim. But there are, just like how some colleges say birthplace of basketball, as you know, several places will claim it's the birthplace. But I mean, starting off in the 1800s, it's pretty impressive. That's definitely not where I thought it started.
Yeah. No, nor I.
I'm going to take a step back away from Santa Claus for just 1 second, Brett, to talk about the Big Brother, Big Sisters of America. Brett, would you like to take a guess of when that program started?
Big Brother. Oh man, I have no clue.
So it's all started in
1956.
1902.
02. I was at least in the right century.
Ernest Coulter, court clerk, helped organize the first New York children's court. Ladies of Charity, later Catholic Big Sisters of New York, started to befriend girls who would become the New York Children's Court. And then officially, the organization Big Brothers movement by attaining 39 volunteers and agreed to befriend at least one little boy. So in the early 1900s, Brett, all this got started, which is good. And basically the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, good looking people you don't know, is just designed to help if there is a little kid that maybe does not have many big siblings, cousins, good influence. It just is an opportunity for a young person to donate time to be a good influence on some younger kids. So, I mean, I know of even some older people who have done it as well. But, it's a program that really is about just giving kids an opportunity to see something else in the world and having another relationship they can potentially lean on. So, great program. Know
Yep.
plenty of people that have done it. I had a girlfriend from another school, so I didn't have time to do it in college. It's kind of always my excuse in that time. Brett, to finish us off, I have Vulture's rankings of the best Santa Clauses from movies. There are 21 names up here,
Okay.
Brett. You want to take a stab at a couple of them?
Well, Tim Allen's got to
Tim
be
Allen
on there.
is on this list. He is. Let me get there. Tim Allen. I went past it. Go away advertisement. I do not want to subscribe. Tim Allen, number 6. The Santa Claus, the Santa Claus 2, the Santa
Right.
Claus, Escape Claus, and the Santa Claus series.
Let's see. Depending on when this article was written,
It was recent.
I don't know. That could. It's David Harbour.
David
on
Harbour
there?
is on here. Let me get there. David Harbour. Oh, there he is. David Harbour, number 11, Violent Night, 2002.
Wow.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see. Man, I can see so many Santa Clauses, but I'm trying to get their names right. Shoot, there's a Netflix Santa Claus movie that I'm sure is
Kurt Russell's on here. He is. If I can get there. Kurt Russell. Nope, I went past. Kurt Russell, number 14. Santa Claus Chronicles and Santa Claus Chronicles 2. One more guess, Brett. You got to give me the actor's name. I like that.
One more. Let's see. What other Santa Claus movies do I know? I don't remember the actor's name, though. The only one I can see is the guy who played him in the Miracle on 34th Street. And I can't remember the actor's name.
Spared no expense.
Yes.
All right.
That's
well,
all
I'll
I
give
can
it to
come
you
up with.
anyway. So you were thinking about Richard Attenborough.
Attenborough.
Miracle on 34th
Yes,
Street,
that's who I was thinking
1995.
of.
Number 2, we have David Huddleston, Santa Claus, the movie in 1985. Ed Asner from Elf,
That's
2003.
Oh, how could I ever forget that?
Ed Quinn from Miracle on
Man.
34th Street, 1947. This one, I thought it was going to be on the tip of your tongue, Brett, but Paul Sorvino from Santa Baby 2, Christmas Maybe. 2009. Tim Allen, as we already said. Bill Goldberg from Santa Sleigh, 2005.
Santa's sleigh. I almost said Goldberg.
This is a favorite of my wife's. Anna Kendrick in Noel. Did you watch Noel?
I've never seen it, but I have seen
I gotta
promos
say it's
for
a
it.
cute one, and I do dig it. I appreciate her being on the list instead of who would normally be on this list. So, oh man, I lost my spot.
Yeah, I figured once Harbor was on the list, I probably could have said Goldberg and gotten there too.
All right. Next on the list, Jim Broadbent from Get Santa 2014. Classic portrayal.
So classic, I've never seen it.
Whoopi Goldberg, Call Me Santa from 2001. I do think I recall this one. It's a TV based movie, but
yeah, it definitely was.
All right, David Harbour mentioned that. John Goodman, The Year Without a Santa Claus, 2006. Another TV movie.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I have no idea what this one is, but Dozens of Naked Finches Men, Rare Exports, 2010. Don't ask me.
Okay, then.
All right, Kurt Russell, we mentioned him. All right, Steve Guttenberg, Single Santa Seeks Mrs. Claus, 2004, and Meet the Clauses, 2005. Okay. And I mean, Brett, I can't believe you didn't get this one, but George Wendt from Santa Baby, and then Santa Buddies, The Legend of Santa Paws, 2009. I gotta say, the most annoying thing in the best of Christmas lists I kept finding, one of the Santa pauses would be on there, and I'd be like, I don't care. But apparently people like it. Okay.
Thankfully, I've never watched any of the Santa Paws
I think you're lucky
movies.
for that. James Cosmo from The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. John Call from Santa Claus Conquers the Martians in 1964. Classic.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a good portrayal on this actor's part, but I'll never watch this movie. J.K. Simmons, Red One, 2024.
Yeah, it's not on my list to ever watch.
Richard Ryle from The Search for Santa Claus, 2010.
Good grief.
And finally, Brett, Paul Giamatti, Fred Claus.
Oh, yeah. I just watched
I gotta say, underrated Santa, but rated properly movie.
Yeah.
And those are our deep dives for today. Oh, I should have put this back on.
All right. So let's talk about what we learned.
You know anything about the Odyssey? Huh? Did I say you could talk?
I didn't teach you that.
My friend Mr. Matthews will lead the discussion.
Do I have to draw you a picture?
Yes.
Don't meddle. Just don't do it. Tyler, what did you learn?
I learned that it's better to have a part-time gig in 1998 than it is today.
Oh, yeah.
No, the real thing that really stuck out to me is the not asking parents ahead of time hey, do you mind if these people stay? I mean, we don't see it, but unless Topanga talked to Alan and Amy beforehand, and then also Cory talked to them beforehand, and they're just like, yeah, we'll just kind of move the couch and they can lay on the floor here. I don't know. Just talk to your parents. It is their house still. You no longer live there. Don't just,
Yeah.
let a bunch of people come stay with you. And don't steal their things. Just to give it away.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the first
And
time
hey,
I've really.
we didn't mention it.
Go
We
ahead.
got to see Matthew's living room.
Yeah, I got to see that. But gosh, Brett, I can't believe how much I was just offended on their behalf of like, can you guys like not do that to them? Like seriously.
Yeah, right. Could you hear the groan in Alan's voice? He said, "I'll get some more sleeping bags."
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing he has an unlimited supply in his store.
Yeah. Sleeping
I
bags
will
and
say,
air mattresses.
I gotta say, their house is not full of enough camping supplies because you'd think that he would randomly just have like, well, I kind of am just eating the cost of these canoes right now, so I decided to put them in my
Yeah, they do
house.
need some more camping supplies around.
Mhm. Like, I kind of wish there was an episode where it's like Alan like only buys stuff from his own store, so like all their baby proofing is like camping supplies.
I love it.
Mhm. Man, there's some real creative ideas we can come up with for this show. It's like they should have hired us back then.
Yeah, really.
Oh
Too
gosh.
bad I was only.
Should
Too
we?
bad I was too young to work for him.
Well, apparently I wasn't. I was the perfect demographic.
Yeah, I was too old. Yeah. Well, anyway.
I'm right? No, you're exactly right.
So am I done with my education? Can I go?
Let's talk about grades. How would you grade Santa's Little Helpers?
I'm. That's the problem with these episodes, Brett, that are based on storyline A and storyline B. Is storyline A is really good and amazing, and storyline B is just, yeah.
No.
Because it's a Christmas episode, and I do love the first storyline. This episode is getting a B plus for me. The first storyline gets an A plus, but the second line storyline is a failure in my opinion. Other than the fact that it's funny, there is some wittiness to it. I do remember this episode coming out when it did. There is some nostalgia, so I think B plus is fair. And next episode we get one of my favorite bits in the show, so B plus, or yeah, B plus.
Oh, she's a weeble.
She wobbles like a weeble.
Yeah, it's hard to. There are just two drastically different stories, and Cory and Topanga's story is a failure, and Eric's it's a rousing success. But in comparison to other Christmas episodes that they've done, it doesn't, because it's dragged down by them, it doesn't stack up as the best Christmas episode. I'm going to give it a C plus.
That's fair.
And that hurts a little bit because I do love Eric's storyline in this Christmas episode, but they really should have gone with a more self-contained one and made him more of the main feature. And if they were going to have this Cory and Topanga medal, that should have been a much smaller portion. That should not have been the A plot.
Correct. It should not have started and ended the episode.
No.
Also, there's been plenty of Cory led Christmas episodes. We need an Eric led Christmas episode, truly.
Yeah, and sadly, this is the last Christmas episode that we'll get.
Well, that's really sad. Very sad indeed. We'll have to compare at some point
Yeah.
of how we rank all the Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
But Brett,
Well,
that's an
what
episode.
we've got. That is.
Oh.
I want some dad jokes so I don't have to end on such a bummer.
That's not. It is a bummer right now. Hold on. Oh gosh. There it is. Well, when you're feeling crappy about a breakup that shouldn't have been in your Christmas special, go to Dad Joke Book.
All right.
All right. Traffic stops, but the dad jokes won't. Let's give that a quick peruse. All right. All right. Let's do this one because clearly we have no idea where campus is in comparison to anywhere. So, Brett,
All right.
what did the first stoplight say to the second stoplight?
What?
Don't look. I'm changing. All
Classic.
right. Let's see here. What do you get if you cross a bike and a rose?
What do you get when you cross a bike and a rose?
Bicycle pedals. All right, let's look for one more, Brett. Just because I'm feeling Christmassy. All right. When does a car stop being a car?
When does a car stop being a car?
When it turns into a driveway.
Nah.
Ba-da-da.
Well, good looking people. That is all we've got for you this week. And I can't hear the music that says it's playing. Can you, Tyler?
Nope, I can't. But I can make it up.
Well, either way. I'll put it in post. If you'd like to connect with us, you can reach us on our social media channels at dadsmeetworld across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and X. We are most active on Instagram, but we will connect with you across all of them that you reach us out to. You can also send us an email at dadsmeetworld@gmail.com. And if you want some cool swag, you can find a bunch of our stuff at dadsmeetworld.threadless.com. So until next time, I'll see you good looking.
Merry Christmas, good looking.
And a Happy New Year.
Happy non-denominational holiday.
Read the Bible. You know, how can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid? Puff pastry on a plate. Oh, I am never gonna pee again. This is good TV.
Dads Meet World is a production of Headfirst Studios. Headfirst Studios. Tell your story.